of Power International's very first charity shop. Power's been in High Wycombe for about 11, 12 years, having come from Henley. And what we do is we work for disabled people and with disabled people in developing countries, the poorest countries of the world, where people have very little or no state help, and where to be disabled is to be discriminated against, to have very little opportunity, and we work to change all that on a permanent basis forever. It's not a quick fix, it's a long, slow process, but the work that we do makes the changes that are really permanent that people need. And that means things like getting disabled children into primary education, without which they have no hope of getting a job, making sure that disabled people are entitled to proper jobs where they are not discriminated against and where they have access to health care and real justice. And we work with local partners. We don't necessarily do it ourselves. We do it with our local partners in the countries concerned, which are Zambia, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Lesotho, Malawi, and one little country historically in Southeast Asia, Laos, which is a very charming but very poor country. We're a small charity here, that's why we're not very much known, but believe you me, overseas we have an enormous reach. We reach disabled people nationally. Literally hundreds of thousands are affected by our work. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to our Africa Director, Wamudila, Waliuya, or Wawa for short, who's been here working with us all week, doing the planning of the next stage of our work, lots of applications. He works enormously hard, not just for us, but on behalf of all disabled people, particularly in Africa. He's a fantastic human rights activist, and we are so very lucky to have somebody like him to work with us at the cutting edge. And we're also very lucky that he was able to time his visit here so that he could help the Mayor launch the shop. This is going to be the first shop of many, we hope. We expect to open in Wallingford by Easter, and a third shop later this summer if we all have the stamina. So I'd like to thank all the people who've made today possible. Our wonderful charity shop organisers, Sarah and Vero, and our superb assistant manager, Lucy, and our great team of volunteers, without which this just would not be possible. Of course, from the people who come to our shop, we need you, obviously, to buy stuff, but we need you to donate stuff as well. And we would like to get more volunteers so that we can be even more successful. The money that goes from the shops will go to our mission overseas. We can't do the mission overseas without our UK team, our little office in High Wycombe, where people plan, monitor and supervise everything so that the money is properly spent and that nothing is wasted. And we are, this small operation with its enormous reach is done all on a shoestring, I can assure you. So thank you again for coming and sharing our special day with us. We are really thrilled that we've got to this day. I mean, if you want to know anything more about the shops or about Power International, please ask me or one of the team who are all readily identifiable in their rather smart t-shirts. So, before we hand over to the Mayor, I would like to ask Wawa to say a few words.
Okay, thank you very much, Sarah, and I'm happy to be with you around High Wycombe and of course in the United Kingdom. I'm Wamudila Waliuya, in short Wawa. As Sarah has already mentioned, I'm the Africa Program Director. I'm responsible for the programs in Africa and advisor to the program in Laos. One thing I would like to stress and continue to stress as I talk is that I believe that the developing world will one day change and be the same as the developing world. I'll continue to say that the developing countries, I believe, will be one day the same as the developed countries. And my belief lives beyond my belief. I don't know whether you understand that. And I believe that I believe in my belief. And I want to see a developing world which will develop more than the developed world. That's my dream. But the dream lies in the giving hand of the developed world. And when I look at the developed world, I'm looking at the people around here. The people who donate to the charity shops and the people who buy from the charity shops. Giving to the charity shop means you have given to the developed world. And when you are buying, it doesn't mean you are buying for your own benefit. You don't realize that you are giving to a poor child who has got no access to health, no access to clean water, no access to quality education. You might be looking at me, smart in a suit, and say, what's this guy talking about? Is he talking about poor people when he doesn't look poor? The true picture I'm talking about is a picture where you've got 95% of children with disabilities not attending any form of education at all. 99% of children with disabilities not accessing quality health. 98% of children with disabilities not getting into tertiary education whereby they qualify to get decent work and employment. That's the situation which is true, and that's the situation which is representative of the developing countries, especially the countries where I work in Southern Africa. I know what I'm talking about, and I come from that background. I want to state the fact that the British has been the leading countries, the leading people in helping the developing world, especially those countries which are the Commonwealth countries, and I appreciate that. And I'm glad that you are part of the people who are contributing to the development of the developing country. So I thank you for that. I have a saying. I don't know the origin of the saying, but I know the saying, which says, blessed is the hand that giveth than the hand that receiveth. I don't know whether this is a religious or a poetic or I don't know the origin, but I know such a saying exists. So that saying may fall on you as you give in terms of donations, as you give in terms of buying. You are permanently changing the life of one child and permanently adding a smile to the face of one disabled child. Therefore, I thank you and I'm glad to be with you here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So I'd now like to hand over to His Worship Councillor Chauhdry Shafique, who will do us the honour of officially opening our shop.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Sarah, and thank you. Well, may I just start with saying this, how delighted I am, how pleased I am indeed to welcome Power International's first shop, not only in Buckinghamshire. First I heard it was in Buckinghamshire, and indeed I understand it's in the whole country. It's the first opening of Power International, and welcome to High Wycombe. And Sarah, you were saying earlier on, telling me some reasons why you've chosen High Wycombe for your first shop, and I was so eager to agree with everything she said about High Wycombe being a place of diversity, place of welcome and warmth and affection. And I said, well, how? Yeah, well, you probably could be the next mayor of High Wycombe. He said, I agree with all of that. Yes, and it is very true, and I congratulate, of course I add on the congratulations that Sarah, you've already given to your team of the organising committee, the people I know, having been involved with this kind of work in public life for many years myself, how fantastic amount of time and effort, passion and dedication goes into opening and organising something like this. And when you're involved with a cause like this, you know, a cause which is very close to my heart, in my professional background, at the university when I'm an economist by profession, a professor of economics, but in my latter years before retirement, I was the strategic director responsible for equality and community cohesion, which included a big chunk of my work for people with disabilities. So you can understand why I'm particularly pleased to say thank you to you and to congratulate your management team, your organising committee, as well as, of course, all your beautifully turned out volunteers, without whom, of course, Power International will not be able to function, as, of course, many other charity organisations can't without the help of volunteers. And I know, I agree with you, Wawa, they are the blessed people who give us their time with so much love and affection to a wonderful cause. And we in this country, Wawa has already very generously, I think, referred to the role that this country has, the position that this country has. I think that we can all hold our heads high in terms of, you know, even in this day and age of austerity and cutbacks, one area of government spending which has not been touched and indeed has been increased has been international aid. And we can all be very proud of that. And your work forms part of that setup that we all in this country can feel really pleased about. That's what it's all about being human beings. I know Wawa has been philosophical about as well, about some of the things you were saying. I'm a little bit less philosophical. Just at the human level, the people-to-people level, it's so important, isn't it, that we not only look after ourselves, but look after our neighbours as well. And by neighbour, I don't mean just living next door. The whole world, of course, is one community. So really proud of that. Well, welcome to you as well, to High Wycombe as Mayor. My pleasure to extend my warm welcome to all of you, to Power International, and wish you every success. And for the purposes of posterity, I'd just like to read out a short statement which is as follows. I am very proud that we have a charity like Power International based in High Wycombe. Its reach is truly international, helping those in countries throughout Africa and Asia. I am sure the people of High Wycombe will enjoy supporting this charity through its new shop, and I wish it every success. Thank you very much indeed. Once more, I'm having the pleasure of cutting this ribbon in the presence of my fabulous photographer. Thank you for